I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to today's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, please go to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Disocam for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 164th lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday we covered Genesis chapter 48, verses 8 to 16, discussing how Joseph brought his two sons to be blessed by Jacob. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis chapter 48, verse 17 and read through verse 22. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 48, beginning at verse 17. When Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he took his father's hand to move it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. And Joseph said to his father, "Not this way, my father. Since this one is the firstborn, put your right hand on his head." But his father refused and said, "I know, my son, I know. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. Nevertheless, his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his offspring shall become a multitude of nations." So he blessed them that day, saying, "By you Israel will pronounce blessing, saying, God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh." Thus he put Ephraim before Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph, "Behold, I am about to die, but God will be with you, and will bring you again to the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to you, rather than to your brothers, one mountain slope that I took from the hand of the Amorites, with my sword and with my bow." In yesterday's episode, we had Joseph bringing his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, to Jacob in order for them to be blessed. Joseph brought his two sons as such so that Manasseh would be under Jacob's right hand and Ephraim would be under Jacob's left hand. This was done so that Manasseh, the oldest, would receive the greater blessing, since the right hand symbolized that. However, Jacob crossed his hands and put his right hand on Ephraim's head and his left hand on Manasseh's head. He then called on the true God of this universe to bless both Ephraim and Manasseh. Now Joseph was watching on, and because his father was blind, thought that Jacob made a mistake, and so he tried to switch his father's hand so that Manasseh would receive the greater blessing. Jacob refused to do this, saying that he knew what he was doing. These blessings weren't mere words imparted by the patriarchs. They were blessings from God and would have been done so with the approval of God. Joseph didn't understand what was going on, but Jacob did, and so he told his son that he knew what he was doing. He said that Manasseh would become a great people, but his younger brother would become a greater people, and his offspring would become a multitude of nations. This fulfillment was still hundreds of years out, but in the days of Rehoboam, David's grandson, there would be a rebellion among the northern tribes, and it would be Ephraim that would become the chief tribe in the northern kingdom of Israel, according to 1 Kings 12:25. Manasseh, for his part, still became a large tribe, but he was not as influential or as powerful as his brother's tribe would become. Thus it is said that Jacob put Ephraim before Manasseh. After blessing Joseph's sons, Jacob revealed to his son that he is about to die. By this time, Jacob is 147 years old, very old compared to our lifespans today, but it is still about 25 years less than his grandfather Abraham lived, and about 30 years less than his father Isaac lived. It is God who blesses us with our years, and while God could have extended Jacob's life here, he did not. In fact, he continued to shorten man's length of time on this earth. James 4:14 says, "Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes." Before dying, Jacob will bless each of his sons, but also here tells Joseph that he is giving him one mountain slope more. Other verses have one portion more than your brothers, that he took out of the hands of the Amorites with his sword and bow. Remember, Jacob bought land outside of Shechem, and then Levi and Simeon killed the men of Shechem in response to what happened to Dinah. So in essence, it was Jacob's bow and sword that did this. That the land near Shechem is what is being promised here is confirmed in Joshua 24:32, which reads, "As for the bones of Joseph, which the people of Israel brought up from Egypt, they buried them at Shechem, in a piece of land that Jacob bought from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of money. It became an inheritance of the descendants of Joseph." In chapter 49, we will find how Jacob blesses his sons. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of Genesis, beginning with Genesis 49, verse 1.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have a question or comment, please leave them below or email them to answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will be continuing on our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to